I'm just putting something there for the glare. Hey, that rhymes. Welcome to my channel. Today you're going to learn how to create this beautiful and elegant little note card. We are using the Botanical Textures Designer Series paper, and the stamp is from Notes and Totes. It's a bundle that I'm featuring during the months of June and July. Hello, my name is Kimberly Smith, and if you like what you see here today, there is a chance to get any of these products that you'd like from my catalog. It's online. You can request a paper one as well. All right, let's just get right into the coloring of this note card. I've already cut the piece, and then we'll just start coloring, and then we'll show you the paper and give you the measurements in a little bit. And I think I will use, so you're gonna use like a plain piece for the back, but I think I'm gonna use a piece of the wood one for the back of this. I did use a piece of the black one, only because I don't want to like actually use up any more of this paper that I already have, because I'm making some little paper purses that you're gonna like. All right, so what I'm using, it doesn't look like it because it's kind of like, these look dark, but these are actually the lemon lime twist blends. See, they're actually this color here. Now I'm gonna use this granny apple green for my background. And all I did for this, because I didn't need to do my normal kind of blending technique where I actually go in and I do dark on the outside, light on the inside. I didn't need to do that. Why? Because this paper is so beautifully blended already. It already has all the shading built into it. So I'm just going to use the fine tip. And all I did for this entire sheet is just color every other one in dark and color every other one in light. I mean, that's almost every other one. I mean, just kind of randomly. And it made this beautiful texture that I was like, one of these like, oh, pleasant, one of those pleasant surprises that I was like surprised myself how cool it is just to use one color on your whole card. And I was going to then blend the background with the same color. And I was like, let me just make that a little bit greener. So again, I'm just using lemon lime twist. If you only have a marker and you don't have the alcohol blends, then just use your marker. Make them all the same. You won't have to do every other one. If you only have granny apple green, it's another bright color. It's from our Brights collection, so it will work really well. Whenever you're thinking what colors will combine together nicely, well, one of the things we have as demonstrators is what's called a lab, a color lab. It has like these really cool printouts for us. And we also have what's called a color wheel. But if you don't have all that, you just do this. This is your simplest tip. So you're trying to go, oh, well, what colors will go together? You can tell by we have different collections that they're going to go well together. So if you're just like not even sure and the paper you have is black and white and you want to color this paper, just pick a collection. I happen to pick the Brights collection. Brights are my favorite collection. So we have Brights, Subtles, Regals, Neutrals, and then different in-color collections. One is the 25 to 27 and the other one is 2024 to 2026, because each of our in-color collections lasts for 2 years. So you just pick any one of those collections, Regals, Brights, Neutrals, Subtles, in-color, either in-color, and you just use anything from the same collection and it'll go well together. So this collection happens to have, the Brights has this really cool party color, which is the lemon lime twist, and it also has the granny apple green. And I do the blending of the paper at the end because it kind of helps forgive any little times where I colored outside the lines. It just makes it look like it's all supposed to be like that. All right, so if you missed my live stream yesterday, I will show you real quick the paper at the end of this, the new paper I got, because it was a thunderstorm in Georgia and the camera just froze and I never got to finish my live stream. But rather than, I always like to just move on. Today's a new day, new topic. I'm making a note card. So I'm not going to finish that. I'm not going to go back and finish the product because at the end I was just bantering anyway. I was doing some other things. So I did get to show you the product. But if you missed it, I will just, show you real quick at the end of this what I was trying to show you with some cards I was trying to show you. And I think I got almost every other one done. That should be good. The cards I was trying to show you and the product. So you see how that's done. Now we're going to take That was your dark, and now I'm just going to take the light. They're very subtle in their differences. So, again, I'm using, you could use the brush tip, but I have a lot more control over the smaller tip. So now I'm just going to go in and do the other color. So it's slight differences in color. And if you want, you can just, use some granny apple green or whatever you have. I find that old olive would work too, but then you have a whole different vibe going on. Old olive would be like a regal color. So then you'd have to use something regal with it. And it's just a different vibe. And then I stamped the sentiment in black, and I'm going to just ink that up a little bit with the Daffodil Delight. Why? Because it's a bright color. So anyway, if you just came on, this is what we're creating, this little note card with the notes and totes. It's not just about totes, this workshop series, but I will show you the cute little beach bag we created in the first part of this series. And I will always have some samples to show you. I'm going to work on one with this paper as well. Every time you use different paper, you get a different vibe. You can still sign up for the Notes and Totes workshop kit. You're going to get 4 kinds of paper: woven textures, botanical textures, country woods. Let's see. Country woods. I know I have that out here. Here, this is the country woods. Country woods like this, and some specialty papers and the turtley cute paper. So you get 4 kinds of designer series paper. You're going to get several kinds of embellishments. You're going to get several die cuts in your kit. Lots of die cuts, like the one we're using for this card is in this kit. See this one right here? You're going to get lots of different colors of cardstock. And then the note card that we're using right now, that comes out of the back of here. And I'm going to try this twine. Even though this is for your little suit, your little bag, I'm going to try putting some of that behind there. So your note card is in there. You'll get some packaging items. Let's see. Embellishments, candy, window sheet, adhesive samples, little sequins to put in your shaker card. So we're going to do a shaker card or shaker project. Sometimes I do a shaker box. Basically, it's a techniques that I feature. I used to do it monthly years ago, and now I'm just, this year, just because of how much my kits, they're very intensive to build. And I've just kind of gone to every other month. Plus, it gives me lots more time to feature a product. And before so I don't run out of projects. So like we do it for 2 months now, and it's like never run out of projects. Not that I ever ran out before with the 1 month, but I mean never run out of time, I should say. It gives me much more time to feature. So for the last couple months, for like April and May, I did Ocean Friends. My mom made little tote bags, but now she's been sick, so she can't sew the tote bags for your kids. So this one, you're going to make your own tote bags. Make your own little mini tote bags. Isn't that fun? You're going to be making your own little paper ones. Anyway, my kits always have like little surprises in them, but just never know. And they're only $49, and you get a discount if you're one of my YouTube channel members, or one of my Paper Chef team members, or one of my Patreon supporters. So if you're in one of my groups, and I say a channel member, like you're all channel subscribers. That's different than being a member. If you want to be a member, you can join here or join Patreon. It just means you pledge to support the channel each month. That's how I can keep offering things for free all the time, is because I have people who pledge to support this channel. And so that's what, it helps offset the cost of the channel, of all the different things that go into the channel. Oh, isn't that nice? So I like that already. And so let's just look at that compared to the one that I've inked up in the end. So you could, just do that and leave it like that. I think that would be fine. But we're going to, add a little bit of ink to that background. We're going to ink it up with some Granny Apple Green and the blending brush. All right, so to ink up something, you're going to take a mini blending brush, get a stamping block, and just put some ink on your stamping block, like so. So anyway, if you have until the 18th to buy the workshop kit, I do not, you would need to buy the bundle separately. You can buy it from my store, or if you already have the bundle, that's separate from the supplies. I don't sell bundles. They come directly from Stampin' Up. I'm not a reseller. We're not out of this like resell stuff, resell stuff. So it's like you just go buy that yourself. Well, we can resell some stuff. It's another whole thing. Like basically, if you want to get something from me, like except for the supplies that I've curated, because that's an actual kit, then you just have to go on the website and you just buy it from my store. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm doing the granny apple green in the background, and I've just blended the back edges darker, and it's a bright color, so it goes really well with this. And I want you to see how I'm just kind of making the inside a little bit lighter. So I've used the ink all over the outside, and then I'm going to take whatever's left over on my brush and just do that. So I'm inking up the whole thing, but the inside's brighter than the outsides. So that's how to ink up the edges. And I think I might save that little bit of ink on there. Even though I want to wash it off, I think I could still ink up some more stuff with that. All right, so let's put that there. And now we're going to put that aside. And let's just wipe that a little bit. I love working with the glass mat. It's just super easy to clean up. And sometimes I just have to put like a little silicone thing on top when I'm stamping, because not only because I wet my mat a little bit, but because I don't want the stamp to slip. So for this, you're going to take a little bit of this one, Daffodil Delight ink. We're going to open that one up, and we'll go ahead and just put a little bit of ink on there. So just put a little bit on my, and now I'm just going to get a little bit on my block, and I'm going to go like that. So I don't need much. See, I didn't want to get that part dirty because, all right, I'm looking for this little guy. It's in your kit. It's in your bag. Okay, I have some extras over here. Okay, so your die cuts were a labor of love, and they come in your kit. So that when most of the things that I do, you're just going to use the die cuts that I've sent you to do those projects. And then that way you can follow along with all my projects. You have plenty extra materials to make extra things with. All right, so I'm using the regular basic white note card. That's a little bit of inking up on the edges. That's Daffodil Delight, another bright color. So we have Brights collection. That's why these are working together, because they're from the same collection. So hopefully that tip helps, just how to get like anything to coordinate. So if you're ever like, wow, I don't know what colors to use, just use one of the collections. So I'm going to put just a note on there. When you first get out your stamp, it's not going to stamp very crisp and clear because it has a little bit of silicone still on it from the factory. So you want to, and we make these here in Kanab, Utah, here meaning in the U.S. Our stamps are made, ooh, that came out nice. But there's a little tiny line that I can fix. It's good to have a marker. Anyway, and I got to go to the factory where they make these. That was such a cool tour. Because I'm a leader in the Stampin' Up, they let me go on a special tour when I went to Vegas. They had an extra, day trip at the end of that event where we could go up and see how the factory works. So I got to see how the red rubber stamps were made and how the photopolymer stamps are made. So these are called the photopolymer stamps. I just want to show you that. I got this out of this stamp set. See? And they do stain when you use a lot of reds and pinks on them. I'm using this one here. Okay? Just a note. If you want to do the grunge look how cool this would look. If you want to do something on the back of this or the back of any paper, look how good that would match with the Botanical textures, because they did that same sort of, grunge splatter look right there on that little piece here. So you could just do that yourself. All right, so instead of see how this card has a little bit of linen thread, and that's in your kit, the linen thread. You also have some, baker's twine and other ribbons, but I'm thinking this would look cute. I'm just going to try a little piece of this time. This is just a little mesh open weave trim, because I thought, wouldn't that look cute in the back of this card? And you don't need much. So you should still have enough for your tote bag, for the first tote bag we made, which I'll show you. So I'm going to use a little bit like that, and I'm not going to glue it down. I'm just going to let this thing hold it down. So when I put maybe I'll even do that. When I put the little dimensionals on there, then that will hold that mesh there. Dimensionals. Here we go. I'm going to use these. Just put a few of those on there because you're going to also hold the mesh down. So you use a little more than you would. You probably could get away with 2 normally, but because it's holding some of this mesh down, you're just going to put it like that. I'm going to center this, but I'm going to make the little gold part go above it. I just think that'll look cute. You guys, you can vote on which one you like better. And then what I'm going to do is take some of these little brushed brass butterflies. And for these, I like to use this part of my take your pick tool, the spatula, because these little guys the adhesive sometimes doesn't come off with the butterfly when I use my fingers. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this little spatula, and then I get the adhesive off every time. Okay, so we're going to put one up there. So I'm using 2 big and a small, and then we'll get the background piece of paper. So for the first one, I used the Botanical texture. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this paper. This is what I want you to use for your background because you have lots of it. But because I'm saving this because I need to make some bags, I'm not sure how many people are still ordering my kits, and my shipments are taking longer than expected. I don't have a lot of this, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you what it looks like. Advise you to use one of these black grungy pieces, right, for your background. But I'm going to go ahead and use one of the Country Woods Designer Series paper for my background because I have a lot of the Country Woods. Now, this is the piece of paper we just colored. Isn't that fun? Okay, and then I think the smaller the pattern, the better. So I like this one for making the little bags, the little mini tote bags. And I think this one would be good for a note card, but not for mini tote bags. And then this one for mini tote bags. You see what I mean? For the smaller the pattern, that's going to be good for your mini note tag dies. Or your mini note, or tote. Mini tote, mini note. I think I showed you all the paper. So that comes in your bag that says this. So look in that bag, this bag here, and you're going to have the Botanical textures and the woven textures in the same bag. And I'm going to go ahead and take a piece of Country Woods. Let's just take this first piece. Here, I have a lot of this. I'm not using this one for anything else. All right, so for note card, I'm just using one of the Stampin' Up! Note cards. We'll even decorate the envelope a little bit if we want. Here, we're going to go like that. And we're going to look at this size of it, and it says that it's 5 inches by 3.5 inches. Okay, so 5 inches by 3.5 inches. So knowing that, after you fold your note card, you're going to take this one and you're going to make this. Since it was 3.5 inches, you're going to make this layer, and I'll write this down on another piece of paper, 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. Let's make sure, okay? This one is going to be 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. And then what is this one? This one's going to be, the next layer is going to be 3 inches by 4.5 inches. I've already cut that because I wanted to just jump right into the coloring. All right, hopefully you get that understanding. And you're not making your own note card because I already sent you the note card. We're not reinventing the wheel here. And I've already given you the measurements of the note card. So you're not making the note card. Stampin' Up! Already, in fact, why would you make the note card? Look how the Stampin' alcohol markers bleed through the paper, but that's fine. Because we make this really, really high quality note cards. They're already scored for you. I'm going to show you the package they come in. And you were given one in your kit. And you were also giving 2 more blank cards. They're called Memories and More cards. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and, I think I've already scored it. I've already folded this card. So oops. I already got my ink all over the corner of it. Okay, when you get ink on the corner of your cards, you embrace it. What you do is make it look like you meant to do that on purpose, right? So this is my little trick for you for the night. Again, another little trick. Just get in there and ink up the edges of your card, right? So since I got ink from my hands on the card, and I'm going to cover most of it up anyway, just go ahead and ink the 4 corners of your card like you meant to do all that on purpose. And then no one will ever know the difference. All right, so I'm going to put the adhesive on this one. So So I have a bunch of stuff for sale on Facebook and my Etsy store, and like I've been doing all this, like taking photographs of my ink and trying to like wipe them off at the end. And by the time I'm done, I end up having ink like everywhere as I test like the markers and the blends and that one has a little bit of a nib on it, a little nib hanging off. All right, so much for that. Come on, trying to cut a straight. The snips are really good at cutting a straight line as long as you can get in there. I went from getting the little nib off to getting a whole little sliver off. Okay, so I used Country Woods for my background, but you're going to go ahead and use Botanical Textures for your whole thing. And I want to know which one you like better. Do you like the one that uses this is the one that uses the linen thread and the black Botanical Textures background. I've changed 2 variables. This one has a darker tint, 3 things. I changed 3 things. This one I've blended darker on the edges. I used Country Woods, but I also used the little mesh, the gold mesh. And actually, one other thing I did to this one is I made the edges of this darker. If you want to go in and make the edges of something darker, after the fact, you're like looking at it and you're like, wow, I really like the darker one. I mean, that's no problem. Just go like this with your sticky note and get in there and fix the edges. I can fix on both cards because I really do like the darker one better. But I don't want to put, I don't want to mix yellow with my green. So I'm just putting that. You want to have the edge like that. All right, you guys like my, sounds like we'll see if they like the second one better. Okay, let me say hello as I do the envelope and as I find the envelopes, do something with the envelopes and find the package these came in before I show you samples. Okay, so here's the package the note cards can't come in. So you got one in your kit, basic white note cards and envelopes. Okay. Oh, here, let's write. It's just very, very quick measurements, right? We're going to say the card is 5 inches times 3.5. The note card itself after folding it. So then we have the first layer is going to be, so we're going to say layer 1. Layer 1 is going to be 4 3/4 times 3 1/4 inches. Once again, layer 1 is 4 3/4 by 3 1/4 inches. And then layer 2 is going to be 4 1/2 inches times 3 inches. Again, layer 2 is 4 1/2 inches times 3 inches. Such an easy card to make. Okay, let's take this. These are our cute little envelopes that come in your package, and we're going to take these scraps. Okay, just take any scrap that you already have done and just kind of go. You're going to go there, and you're going to, well, first of all, I like to put the adhesive right on my card flap is what I like to do, right out to the edge. And you can use, liquid glue for this if you like. That would be fine. I just don't feel like taking out my liquid glue. Don't want to, and actually liquid glue might make your envelope a little soggy. So maybe that is better. Okay, I'm just going to go in there and stick a piece of paper on there. I'm just sticking a piece of designer series paper on there. And I'm just using sort of the grunge side, and then I'm going to cut it. So this is how you do your envelope flap for your note card. You don't always have to do this, but like it depends on if you're mailing it. If you're mailing it, or if you're just putting it on someone's desk, maybe just stick it in the envelope. And I usually put it in something else anyway that's all decorated. Like this note card ends up going in a box or something. But if you're mailing it, I think this would look really cute. Right, mailed like that. So that's one card. And that will go with this card, right? Because it's the same color. And then for this one, we shall use this little piece here. I'm going to go ahead and do both of them because I have the same color. That might be a cute little envelope flap too. I think I'll use that side. That side is really nice. It's kind of hard to see because I'm working on white and you can't see the corners. But what I'm doing is I'm trying not to get the adhesive around the side here. Okay, I think I'm gonna put that side on there. I just kind of like that. It's pretty cool looking. It's pretty chic. And someone's gonna go, oh, that's really nice. How did she do that? Now I should have got it on there correctly, but oh yeah, it's okay because as long as it's uneven along the whole top, it looks like it's even, right? Got to. All right, so hello, good evening, Phil. I'm just saying hi to everybody. So if you haven't said hi yet, please check in on the. Don't be a lurker. Check in and say hello. I mean, you could be a lurker all you want, especially if you're watching on TV and you can't check in very easily. But get in the habit of getting on your phone and just kind of like saying hello, right? Even if it's after the fact, you won't be in the live stream, but you could still say hello in the regular YouTube comments. And same with email, you guys. Please don't be a lurker on the email. Because when you guys just lurk and you read the headline of the email, and like I just sent one out this evening or this afternoon, it said, Brother Scan and Cut Virtual Retreat. And if you just look at the headline and you're like, oh, I can't make that day, please open it anyway, because if you don't open your emails, they will start going into spam. And maybe when there is something that you are interested in, then the algorithm will say, oh, they like opening those emails, right? They're not going to go into spam. So anyway, again, don't be a lurker on the email either. All right, so anyway, let me keep saying hi. I didn't mean to single you out, Lori. I was just happened to say hi to you, and then I'm talking about lurkers. I'm talking about other people being lurkers that aren't saying hi. Hello, T. Barnes, Debbie Salinas, nice. Thank you for being a YouTube channel member. Dawn Klein, nice to see you again. Thank you for that picture, Dawn. Everybody loved the little bag, the little nurse bag. Hello, Christina Fullen, nice to see you again. Oh, yes, you've had the same windy storms because you're Georgia as well. I mean, it was like, I actually got late. I was late to the post office today. But because I'm like the regular at the post office, like I probably keep the place in business. I probably keep my town's post office in business. Anyway, they let me put the little packages through one of the slots, even though we don't really have a package drop off. They let me like hand it to them, like all the doors were locked. And I was like, here's my packages, my card club. Anyway, yeah, because it was raining out. Anyway, this one is cute because it goes, I hope I didn't get yellow on there. I could see that there's yellow all over my glass. This is a cool glass mat. I think we still sell these, by the way. So now, if you haven't voted yet, I'm asking which one do you like better, like the one with the all botanical textures with the black background, or the one with the wood background, country woods. The other difference was this one was darker when I colored it this time, and then the other difference was that this one has the gold mesh as opposed to the linen thread. Both of those things are in your kit. The workshop kit. All right, so first, as I'm saying hi, I'd like to show you something else someone made, right? Hi, Janet. Nice to see you. Yes, I snuck a live by you. It's posted in our team. Okay, you guys are voting on the second one. Let's see what else. Phil is voting second one. And only one vote for the first one. Everybody else said the second one. Hello, Carissa Keller. Nice to see you again. We were just chatting on Facebook. Hello, Robbie Landon. And Ginger Snap, thank you for being a YouTube channel member. Diane Dayton, nice to see you. And Karen Nevin, thank you for voting. And all you guys that voted, thank you for voting. It looks like this one is a clear 4 out of 5 winner. All right, so and speaking of winners, this little bag was my swap, like from my Disney trip, and they give it to me flat so that it's easy to carry. So I just want you to see how you can make one of these little mini totes out of cardstock. It was done by Simply Sweet Ink and Designs, Deborah Harrison, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, who also earned the incentive trip, which I love how they use Disney colors, and it's simply stinking adorable. Speaking of adorable, what we made in the first video of this series was an adorable mini beach bag. And we also used the country woods for that. You guys, I always like when you vote, and I do listen to you talking when we're making things. And there's that gold twine again. So you got to use that little piece from your kit in there. And then I asked you whether you liked, there's this little pocket that you could put on your notes and totes. And I said, which pocket do you like better? Which one? Do you like News Flash or Fabulous on the outside or on the inside? You could just put it in there. You just stamp it. is from the stamp set, and you put it in there. And you all said, or you voted on having it on the outside. So I glued it on the outside for that one. These little sunglasses are made of the little petal pink, and some Wink Stella is on those. Okay, and I'm going to try different things. Someone gave me a really good idea about like tape. It was Lynn, and she was in my meeting. Lynn might be here. Let's see. She usually comes on. Lynn, if you're here, don't be a lurker. Come say hi. She was in my team meeting, and she said, why don't you use tape for your sunglasses? Because I showed them with the little bags to make them shiny. So like actual packing tape, like clear or, you know, maybe Scotch tape. She's like, it would make the sunglasses shiny. Put it over the black and then die cut it, and you would have little shiny glasses. So I was like, I can't wait to try that for my series. So anyway, those are the cute little beach bags, and I put mini Tic Tacs in here and lip gloss at the time. And I was telling you how you can put gift cards inside these. So like they will hold a gift card, you know, if you want. And, you know, just put the little twine on the back. Now, one thing about the handles, if you're making these, this is, by the way, this is Notes and Totes still. This is the bundle. We made it with this, and I showed you. But make sure these handles are reinforced. So I'm working on a bag made from Botanical Textures next, and I'm doubling up my handles. And there's two kinds of handles. For the next bag, I am trying a little scarf. This is the little scarf I'm trying. And this is the little handle I'm trying. Let me see. This little handle, see? So there's two styles of handles. I haven't tried it yet. I just started doing the cutting. So I'm working on reinforcing those handles. But anyway, that's what you can make with the Notes and Totes. So isn't that fun? All right, last night, oh, by the way, let's just make sure you got the measurements for this card. And I'm wrapping up that part of the tutorial, and I want to just kind of go over what we saw last night because my thing got cut off because of the actual storms and everything. And people kept going, your camera's frozen. I'm like, no kidding. It's frozen for me too. All right, thank you, Lori and Karen and Dawn saying she loves going Disney, and she's going to Disney next week. So aren't they just fun little things? They'd be good to put on the pillows of people that are, you know, going with you to Disney. All right, so last night I was talking about this new suite, and right now it's here. By the way, I'll just put this here because I'm having a retreat. I'm just going to put that there so you guys, if you want to sign up for my retreat, it's on July 5th. It's a Saturday. This is a scan and cut retreat, and then that will be going on, and you can look in the description of this video and sign up for my offerings, and you'll see a link to it, and you can register there. Anywho, there's right now at Stampin' Up! Any suites that you see in this catalog or online exclusive suites, you can get them. Buy one. I'm just going to show you what a suite looks like. Here, this is a suite. Buy one suite. Like here, you wanted to get Turtley Cute and get another whole suite free. The one of lesser value is the free one. So you want to get like two things that are the same price or similar price. So that's how I got these two suites. Yesterday, I was showing you the two suites. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday, last night. And, okay, I'm going to just show you the paper again for, this is a brand new suite. It is called Floral Charm. I'm not going to go over the colors in the paper and all that. You can definitely watch last night's video, but I'm just going to go over this again. Floral Charm. And if you missed it, it's one of the new online exclusives coming out. And I will do another sneak peek of other online exclusive suites coming out. Like all coming out July 1st. So I really like the Floral Charm suite and this designer series paper. And I know that flowers are very popular. So we keep coming out with new flowers. And although I'm probably not going to keep like the bundle that goes with this, meaning not going to keep, meaning it's going to be a prize. It is still something that I think my customers are really going to love. Okay, and here it is. It's called Charming Day Bundle. And it has like this line art look and great for coloring with the Stampin' blends. Look at this. And this stamp set is Cling, which you got to love Cling. Okay, and then it also, I showed you there's some embellishments, some ribbon, and some dies. I'm not going to open these again. I'm just letting you know that that was one of the suites that I purchased. And then the other suite I purchased was called, oh, and it came with this one too. This is going to be a prize in my, if you guys are in my VIP group, I give out a lot of prizes. This one's going in the prize bucket. So this one's going in the bingo. My bingo is July 27th, whatever that Saturday is. It's after the virtual scrapbooking retreat. So if any of you are going to that scrapbooking retreat, my thing is after that. I think it's like the weekend after. I wanted to make sure I didn't interfere with that event from Stampin' Up. Anyway, I bought, this order was called, this one was Impressions of Bloom die, stamp set and dies. And this was a photopolymer. And it came with, again, embellishments and the whole nine yards, embellishments. And then it came with the paper, which I believe, I'm just going to show you like the paper in the form of, these are the cards we made last time with it. Because truth be told, I've already cut up all the paper. But this is some things we made with that paper, or not the paper, this one. That's the Impressions of Bloom. So this paper we used last month in the workshop. So that's available now. This is a suite that is one of the buy one, get one. So demonstrators could get buy one, get one free, even if it's a pre-order. The rest of you have to get things that are buy one, get one free for that are not pre-order, like that you could just get that are currently available now. And there's like probably 20 suites that are available now. Maybe one or two are sold out right now, but most of them are available now. So you can buy one, get one free. All right, so that's a little sneak peek of what last night was about. And then one more thing I was trying to show you. All right, the cards we're making this month in this month's card club and the recent Brother Scan and Cut tutorial I had. And it's all featuring Feathered Fun. So first the cards we made with the Scan and Cut, and then I'll show you the ones you don't need a Scan and Cut to make. So for Feathered Fun, my last tutorial featured how to cut out stamped images using your Brother Scan and Cut. And I showed you these cards created with the Everyday Skies Designer Series paper. Actually, wait, these are my card club. Card club is separate. Here, these are card club. So these are ones that I cut out with the Scan and Cut. So you can see how the nice, beautiful outlines and how easy it is to cut these with your machine. And this paper is from the celebratory Sips Designer Series paper. And again, that's Everyday Skies. So for this month's card club, we're going to use Everyday Skies, this paper here. And I'm still sending out kits, so it'll probably be in a week or so. Probably next weekend. Maybe next week I'll start the tutorials. So these are going to be our tutorials this month. So if you didn't get the kit and you still want the kit, let me know. But usually you have to sign up by the 10th to get the kit, unless you specifically let me know. And then this is the celebratory Sips Designer Series paper. So Feathered Fun is available now on my store. And let's see. All this Botanical Textures paper is available now. Pretty much everything I showed you. Notes and Totes bundle. Impressions of Bloom. A lot of things I showed you tonight are available now. But this one is not. The Charming Day is one of those pre-order items that only demonstrators can get a hold of right now. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Not buy one, get one free. I did it again, guys. I did it again. I'm so glad you guys stopped me before I always mess that up. It's not buy one suite, get one free. And therefore, I got to write it down again because I messed it up the last time. This is 2 videos in a row. We shall write it on the back of here. All right. We're going to write it in red ink so we don't mess it up again. The suites are not buy one, get one free, even though it's called a BOGO sale. Buy one, get one, but it's not an actual BOGO. It's buy one, get one, 50% off. Thank you guys so much for reminding me that. I don't know why. I did a whole video on explaining this. All right. So example, I'm going to say $78. First one. Okay. And then say the second one is, I'm going to say $76. Okay. So the new price would be $38 for the second one. Okay. 38, not percent, $38. Okay. So the new price is $38. So for this example, you would save $38 on the 2 of them. And it's really another way of honestly just saying it's like almost 25% off. Because you're buying one at full price. You're getting the second one at 50% off. And it's kind of like almost 25% off, but not quite because they're not the same exact price. So I hope that makes sense. And the other thing is that you're going to earn 10% rewards on your next order that you can use on your next order. And then if you're a demo, So if you're taking advantage of the sale, you're also going to get 20% off, save 20%, or I get 25% off of all products because I'm a silver elite, or like if you're bronze elite or above, you get 25% off all your products. But the very minimum when you join Stampin' Up is 20% off all your products. That's in addition to your 10% rewards and in addition to your buy one, get one half off. So bottom line, that pays for all my tax and shipping and all that jazz. And I'm like, thank you guys for reminding me again. And luckily, those who stay till the end are diehards and will not know that I appreciate you guys reminding me again of the way that the sale works. And even though I did an entire 40-minute video on how the sale works, I keep saying it wrong. I don't know why. Probably because I want it to be buy one, get one free. Even so, though, this is such a great sale, and it's like super awesome. So if you do buy any suite, okay, I'm flipping this back over. Okay, free retreat. I'm just going to say, this is a way to get this retreat for free. If you shop with me, free retreat, I like things that rhyme. When you buy a suite. And I have other ways to get a free retreat as well. Like you could buy a suite, or you could buy that scrapbooking workshop series, month-by-month kit. But I have it all outlined on my email that I sent out. But free retreat when you buy a suite by June 30th. Okay, so why not buy 2 suites, right? Why not buy 2 suites by June 30th? Because the first suite you're going to get 100%, price, and the second one's going to be 50% off. So why not buy a suite? Now the BOGO sale is on all suite products as well. And I just like to real quickly explain that because it's so confusing to so many. I've had emails about it and people have given up because they didn't understand it. So it's not just on suites. It's on every suite product. So if you just wanted this paper, it's buy one, get one 50% off because it's part of a suite. Okay? But if you were to buy this, say you were to buy this suite, beautiful gallery collection, and $139.25, your second half price item could be this entire suite here called the Florals and Bloom Mega Suite. That's $122. That could be a half price. You could get half price off that. You'd save $61.35 on that. You'd get half price off of the suite. However, if your second item is not a whole suite, say you bought this beautiful gallery suite, and then you're like, I just want an extra pack of paper. Well, you put an extra pack of paper in your cart. It's part of a suite. You're going to get 50% off the paper because that's your second lowest priced item. And it's $12.50, so you're only going to get $6.25 off. So I hope that makes sense. So make sure that if you are getting things, yes, link is right in the description, Dawn. Okay, if you are getting 2 things, get them around similar prices so that you can take advantage of the sale and then place a separate order with similar priced items so you can really take advantage of the sale. Okay, the link to my retreat is either go to my store and go to, kits, clubs, and offerings, or go to the first link in the description, kits, clubs, and offerings. It'll say, it's like a flow page link. It'll say paper. It's the link right after the store, and that's how you sign up for my retreat. Or sign up for my email, and you get links to all these things sent to you via email. All right, thanks for the thumbs up, and thank you for coming. Yeah, Bpre, I know. Enough for the rain already. I'm so glad my live stream lasted longer than yesterday. All right, so for those of you who just came in, today we learned how to make these cute little note cards by Stampin' Up. They're super thick cardstock, thicker than, it's like our thick basic white cardstock. There's no reason to make your own note cards when you can get a package of these that are so thick with envelopes that match so nicely. Now, just keep in mind when you do send out note cards, sometimes they're too small for the mail and they actually charge you extra postage. So I tend to write a note card, like if this is a sympathy card for someone or something, or you're sending someone a thank you note, put this inside a bigger envelope, and then it'll be the regular postage. Unless, of course, it goes over an ounce, but that's another story. So that's what we made tonight. It's part of our Notes and Totes workshop series, which features the Notes and Totes stamp set and the Notes and Totes dies. Also featured this month is the Feathered Fun. If you're one of my card club members or even former card club members, I sent you a survey to pick the July kit. And it looks like Jolly Holly or Holly Jolly or whatever is in the lead right now. Even though I kind of wanted the llamas, just saying, but you guys might not want the llamas. You might want to do a Christmas in July, full-on theme. So go ahead and vote for the July and the August stamp sets we're using for Card Club. All right, so with that said, I will see you again real soon. I think tomorrow will be another sneak peek of another order from some new online exclusive items. All right, that's all for now. This is the Paper Chef. Have a great evening.